Well, welcome to the Fragrance Nut. Hey, today we're going to talk about, I believe this may be my second or third Argos fragrance review, or even trying them. And I remember the very first was the very famous Triumph of Bacchus. I've not tried the Extrait, but I did pull the trigger on a little 2 ml sample. I have some others that I wanted to check out by a fragrance house called Adamo, which I will be dropping a few videos on that, as well as I have tomorrow coming some day 3 fragrances, which I do have a few nice sized decants of them. But today we're going to talk about one, and I'm telling you, I do have this eerie, or I should say uncanny ability that when I smell something, it triggers a memory, and I can almost 98% go right to what it was that it reminded me of. And this one in particular, we talking over 40 years ago, damn near. And we're going to get into that. But let's talk about it. Today, what we're going to talk about is Argos, Neptune's Trident. This one here is an Oriental fragrance, and it came out in 2025. I forget who the perfumer is. I think it's Hashani, maybe. But anyway, this one is very green, and there's some notes in there that really brought it to me, what it was that it reminded me of. But this one, however, in the top, you got bergamot, you got mandarin orange. I got my notes here because I want to be real specific about what a shame I think this one is. It's not a bad fragrance. I'm going to tell you where you can go and get one way cheaper. Let's get into it. Anyway, it's got bergamot, so let's give you that citrus, and then it's got lavender. Of course, it gives that spicy. And this is geared to unisex, but that lavender can make it lean a little bit masculine. You do happen to find the lavender inside most male fragrances. Then you got that mandarin orange that sweetens things up. You got some cardamom. There's some more spice again. In the mid, that's got some green tea, probably Earl. It's got some orange blossom, some jasmine sambac, and it's got some geranium. That gives it green again, but that green tea could also make it a kind of like a fougere. Anyway, and in the base, you got some musk, you got some iris, you got ambergris, you got sandalwood, vetiver. Of course, that ambergris is going to make it a little salty, and it is. And this is not a bad fragrance. So when I'm not shooting it in the foot, I am shooting the perfumer in the foot, because if that person has been around in the fragrant world as long as I have, and I've been in it since I was 14, I'll be 70 in September, so been wearing fragrance a long time. And so this to me would be what like a green leather fragrance, because of the ambergris and the labdanum in there. But here's where it reminds me of. Have any of you out there ever heard of Cartier's Declaration? In 1998, it was geared for men, and it has bergamot, it has mandarin orange or orange, it has iris, it has jasmine. I'm not sure if but it's probably jasmine sambac. It's not grandiflora, I don't believe. Of course, it's got, I believe it has some vetiver. It has the sandalwood. It has at least 8 to 10 of the notes that are found in here, except for it had a lot more notes going on in Declaration. And I believe at that time it was just eau de toilettes. I don't even believe fragrances were offered as eau de parfums or EDPs as we get them today. As well as this, it was geared to men. They still had that unisex idea hadn't come out. Of course, in the in Europe or abroad, there is no gender in fragrance. But at that time, here in America, we were stuck with the female fragrances and men. When actually we didn't have, at that time, we didn't have privy to perfumers as we do now with the information age. We did not know what we were smelling. All we were, it was just left to our imagination. Sometimes in African American, for those that are African American viewers here, and for those that aren't, in our world, women would use what was known in hair grease, and it was called bergamot. So the moment you smelled Declaration, you knew, oh wow, this got some bergamot. But we didn't have privilege to knowing, as we do today, the notes. Sometimes I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Sometimes I believe that having the notes is good if you want to discern what you like and what you don't like. But you got perfumers out there, sleight of hand, in my opinion, because this is just too similar. I mean, it came right to me right away. As soon as I smelled it, I just knew it felt like a lighter version. The only difference that I think is missing, of course, is the ambergris. I'm not sure if ambergris was available to Jean-Claude Elena. Probably was. I'm not sure if he used any in that. But get your nose on Neptune's Trident. And then if you can score you, I'm sure it's probably dirt cheap if they still have it. And they may even have some upgraded versions of Declaration Cartier. And see if you find the similarity, or are you familiar with other bergamot fragrances? Because this is bergamot dominant in this fragrance. It does last a good long time. I believe it would be good in the summer and things heat up. I don't see myself adding it to the collection because of my memory of Declaration. It would be something if you just like citrus fragrance. I did years ago before I moved on, and I don't particularly care for freshies at all. So I won't be adding this. I'm not knocking anyone that loves this or like it. Only thing I feel is criminal is that if this perfumer knew the similarity, just how similar, then that price ought to reflect what you probably could get Declaration for. Not get the new people, the new noses, the noses that are 25 and under, 25 to 40 who may not know about Declaration, and then sell them on it and they think they got the greatest hit. Only I would know that when I smelled it, it felt like, what's the word? Plagiarism. So that's all I have to say. I'm going to always keep it straight because I always spend my money for these things. I can afford to do so. And so it's a hobby for me. I'm not trying to shoot anybody, but this time would be the first time that I felt like I had to come to the community and say, hey, this one is taking advantage. Go with the old OG. And that's it. Always remember, like, share, subscribe. Leave a comment. If you think that maybe I shouldn't have come down, did I come down too hard? Because that's not what I'm trying to do. I just want to always be able to give you the real deal if you appreciate the style of fragrances that I like and that you like. And if you like my recommendations, I'm going to always try to keep it real with you, because that's our hard-earned money that's out there. And so, having said that, thanks for stopping. If this is your first time, welcome. If you're returning, deeply appreciate you. And anyway, always remember, keep smelling good. See you in another video. Bye.